Hey guys, what's going on? Blaine back for another Netflix review, and today I'm going to be talking about In Good Hands. In Good Hands is a Turkish romantic dramedy that tells the story of Melissa, a woman who is suffering from an inoperable brain tumor and only has about 5 months to live. She worries about who will be able to look after her son Chan when she eventually passes away when she encounters a man named Firat. Believing that he might be a suitable candidate, Melissa begins to spend more time with Firat, much to Chan's chagrin, who doesn't take kindly to someone else being brought into the picture. Despite this, everyone begins to bond with Firat while Melissa comes to terms with her illness. I was surprised at the light tone this movie took with its story based on reading the initial premise. It was an interesting change from the usual depressing mood that comes with stories about cancer, and while there are some parts that didn't land quite as well for me in this respect, there are even more that I like about it. The main character Melissa is sympathetic by virtue of her circumstances, not just the fact that she has cancer, but also that she's running out of time to find someone who can look after her son. It's a difficult situation that no one should be put through, but she somehow manages to carry on with a smile on her face. She often suffers from debilitating headaches that get worse as time progresses, which adds a degree of tension to the story, yet she's still able to enjoy life while she can by laughing, spending time with friends, and going out and having fun. It's a refreshing change of pace that doesn't negatively affect the narrative. Her son Chan took a bit more time to get used to, but I found him to be a likable character as well. He's protective of his mother to an absurd degree, always staring daggers at men who look his mother's way, and doing his best to sabotage their attempts at flirting whenever possible. This made more sense as I came to understand Chan's interpretation of his family. His father passed away when he was an infant, and so Chan becomes worried that introducing a new man would disrupt the only family dynamic that he's ever known. His fear of the unknown is understandable and heartbreaking considering what will happen to his mother. The last main character, Firat, took a while for me to get comfortable with. He's very off-putting when he first spends time with Melissa and especially Chan, but he grew on me over the course of the story. He has an intriguing backstory, and his interactions with the pair become more endearing as he helps them come out of their shells. Firat has an especially hard time bonding with Chan at first, which actually proved to be somewhat amusing. He takes Chan out on excursions in and outside the city of Istanbul, which helps Chan to socialize more and not rely on his mother so much, in a way that's both fun and meaningful. Regarding his relationship with Melissa, their romance proceeds in fairly traditional fashion. Melissa doesn't explicitly state to Firat the reason why she takes an interest in him, which allows their relationship to blossom at first before it inevitably blows up in her face. I didn't understand why she held out for so long on telling him until certain details are made clear later on in the movie, which I'll talk about a bit later. For now, all I'll say is that their connection, while initially unappealing, does improve, and it's adorable to see the two together once their romance kicks off. I know I'll be repeating myself a bit, but I continued finding myself pleasantly surprised at how casual the movie treated its subject matter. For a movie that concerns the subject of death, it's surprisingly easygoing and never felt heavy-handed with how it approached its grim concept. Melissa will go out and participate in karaoke nights, Chan will get into some sort of mischief, or Melissa's friend Fatosh will crack jokes at work. It was nice to see Melissa and others take advantage of the time she had left instead of just moping around and being sad all the time. The movie does know when it needs to be serious though. As her cancer worsens, Melissa is forced to have painful conversations with her son and others about what's going to happen to her, which reinforces the gravity of her situation. While the drama and humor are mostly well executed, the movie has problems when it comes to tonal shifts. There were quite a few instances where a serious moment takes place, usually involving Melissa, and all of a sudden it'll cut to upbeat music while Firat or someone else is doing something completely unrelated to what just happened. It was pretty jarring when these instances occurred. Even when the tone is consistent, the music can be pretty excessive and make scenes overindulgent, such as whenever there's a scene where Melissa and Chan are on opposite sides of a wall or door, and the soundtrack gets overemphasized to an unusual degree. The variety of events that the characters take part in helps to balance things out though, and featuring Istanbul as the backdrop for all of these events makes for a ton of beautiful cinematography. Even the rest of the music is great during the times where characters are out and about having fun, reinforcing the movie's positive nature. At a certain point in the story, a sudden plot twist occurs that completely shifts the story's gears, and in my opinion it didn't make a lot of sense. Without spoiling anything, it overcomplicates the story, and it kind of soured my perception of Melissa as a character, even despite her tragic circumstances. I can understand where she's coming from with what she does, and there's still plenty of time left in the movie to process what happened afterward, but it still felt unnecessary to add that extra element. It distracts from the looming cancer that's about to claim Melissa's life, and I thought it was unfair to put that kind of baggage on Firat. Putting this aside though, the movie is filled with symbolism that highlights the significance of both life and death. A common metaphor is when Melissa suffers from a headache, and it shows a dream sequence of her walking toward the sea, moving closer to the horizon with each headache that occurs, showing how Melissa is slowly inching closer toward her death. There's also a running theme involving characters having a missing piece in their lives that leaves them feeling incomplete, such as Chan collecting toilet paper to fill the void left by his deceased father, or Melissa looking for an actual puzzle piece missing from her wall art. There's lots of thematic imagery to be found in this movie, and the fact that they're featured in an entertaining and thought-provoking package makes it more enjoyable. Overall, In Good Hands is a solid romantic dramedy that teaches its audience to value life and cherish their loved ones, without doing so in a preachy or gloomy manner. If you like movies that balance both comedy and drama, and you're looking for one that tackles the subject of death in a unique way, I think you'd enjoy checking this one out. It has some flaws with balancing its tone, and I'm still not a fan of how it went about with its plot twist, but its characters grew on me the longer I continued to watch, and I appreciate how it provided a more optimistic outlook on life before and after death, not to mention that it did a good job in doing so. What did you think about this movie? Did you enjoy its more positive tone concerning its bleak subject matter, or were you disappointed by how its twist turned out as well? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways guys, that's going to wrap up my review of In Good Hands. Thanks for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed it, and as always stay tuned for the next part, where next time I review the Japanese romantic drama, Love Like the Falling Petals. Bye bye!